Hello everyone. Today we shall see how to build a JavaFX project and connect to MySQL database and display the data on the GUI. So you launch your IntelliJ editor and select project type as JavaFX. Give some meaningful name. MyDB Connect could be any name. See that you have chosen language as Java and build system as Maven and artifact name is same as that of the project name. You need to select a few of these libraries so that you'll be able to manipulate the JavaFX components. So a new project will open up and this project will contain certain classes. So if you look at this Java folder and within this MyDB Connect project, you will have two ready classes to use. One is the name of the application, Hello application, where it will load the fxml file and there will be a controller which will manipulate the contents of the JavaFX. And if you go to the resources here, this is where you will see the Java fxml file which contains certain XML tags. For example, if I want to include a label, it will be label with an ID and there will be a button with on action where there will be some action that will be taken up. So this is the basic thing that comes up with your JavaFX project. Now, if you want to change the content of the JavaFX form, you have to right click and open up the scene builder. So it'll take a while to bring up the screen builder. And now if you see the scene builder here, you can enlarge it. Basically, scene builder is a form and currently it has two elements on it or two controls. One is a label which you can enlarge and also there's a button and the button can also be enlarged the way you want. So slight modifications here, and if you see the label here, the label can also be enlarged. Now if you see the uh, arrangement of these elements, they are coming in the center, so that's because the alignment of the form is center. If you say top left, so you will see the label is coming on the top left here. And if you want some initial data to be here, so let's say product info uh, app, something like that. And if you want, you can change the font type and all that, font family. You can just scroll down and select anything which is fine with you, and you can increase the font size. And if you wish, you could change the color of the any color should be fine. So you will see that the label is appropriately formatted. Similarly, the label on the button can also be changed to, let's say, show data, and you can change the color of this to something like this red or something. And now to show the data one uh, row at a time, I'll be displaying the product information like product ID, product name, its price, and maybe the category of the product. So I will be requiring certain controls here. If you go to this part, the display will be in text field form. So I will pick up the text field from the controls list and place it here. If you want to change its size, go to its layout here, and you need to change these properties. I think so. This property, if you change, possibly it will set to the size. So, and also you can give an appropriate ID to this. For giving the ID to the text fields, you can go to the code tab and give some name like PID. So this would display the product ID, and then if you want, you can set its properties. Like I can go to the font family, make it anything that you feel appropriate. Go down and randomly choose something which is fine with you, and slightly change the font size. And to test whether the text is coming okay, you can type some product ID like that. So this is the kind of font you have chosen. That should be fine as long as it satisfies your requirement. And if you don't want this kind of a font, you can again go back and change it to something like this. Okay. And if you wanted to change some of the other properties, you can do that by scrolling down a little bit here and altering some of these properties, right? So mainly you would like to change the way the text looks like and its properties, right? So there are many properties down here. For example, if you want to use JavaFX CSS kind of setting, you can use dash fx text fill property, and if you give color as red, possibly it will change to red. So as you can see, you can set the color of this text field. If you want more of these things, you can Control C and Control V, and as many as you want. Let me display 4 of them. So I would like to go to the code part of the other controls and change the names appropriately. So here I want it to be P name, and this should be price, and this should be, let's say, category. Okay. So and these initial values you can just remove so that the data is blank. Instead, you can indicate what would come up in these fields by using the prompt text. For example, this is going to display the product ID. So it will display in gray color. Then this will be displaying the product name. And this would display the price of the product. And this would display the category of the product. Okay, so you have a kind of 4 or 5 controls here, and when I click on show data, possibly show data font size can increase a bit, and also font family you can choose something randomly. Yeah, so you have the interface ready, and if you wanted this thing to be little away from the x-axis, you go to the properties or layout, sorry, to go to layout, and margin can be set. For example, left margin, if I want to put, let's say, 100, so it will come up here. This can be 120, this again 120, this again 120. So I'm just showing you what all you can do with the interface design. So you see that all products. Normally product names will be longer, so I'll enlarge this. Product price will be less, so you can reduce this, and product category would also be a little longer. So I can adjust all these things, and if you wanted the show button to be slightly onto the left, so you can reduce it to 50, something like that, or maybe 20. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So we have a user interface ready. Before we get back to the code, you just save it so that the interface is saved. And when you come back here, before coming back, one more thing you have to do, you have to indicate what is your controller name. So it is hello controller. So the class that you have written here will control the way things will be shown up. So what is currently done is that the button ID button is associated with on hello button click, and it is right now changing the label content. So here I would write it as product info information system, something like this. So when I click on the button, this is what comes up on your uh, GUI. So before we run the program, you have to configure the project by setting few things here. You have to give the name, call it as my app or something, and you have to indicate which is your first class which contains the main method. So it is this one, and say OK here. So if I just run here, it will show up the product. Now the window is coming too small. That is because in the application loader, the vertical and horizontal sizes are set. So we can set it to 400 and something like 600. So let's see how the application would look like. Yeah, so you could reduce the height a little bit, and maybe 540, and increase the width a little bit so that the interface looks of appropriate size. So our application is ready, and when I click on show, it is changing the label, but I want this button to show the data coming from the database. So what all I need to do to get the data from the database, the first thing that I would do is to add a class, uh, call it as DB Connect. Now the connection details have to be got from the separate class itself. So I don't want to mix up that with the hello controller. So I am keeping the connection details separate so that the connection can be changed if whenever required. So here, first thing I would do is to declare a connection object con, and if you normally this comes from your you have to import a package from java.sql.star. Now, normally this is not included in your module, so you have to uh, click Alt and Enter, and then add requires java.sql directory to module info.java. So there is a file called as module info.java somewhere down here. Module info.java, yeah, here. So it will add this line java.sql requires, only then there is classes which are there in java.sql become available. So we require a connection object here. Then you require a statement object. Then you require a result set, all these three. And you can add a constructor to this. Just say generate constructor. Don't select anything. We want a default constructor. Now in the default constructor, I want to load the driver and get the connection done. So you will be adding two catch statements here. One is class not found exception, and you can call it a CNE, and just print the error that you might get in string form using toString method. Yeah. Yeah, so now it's giving error because you're not trying anything to load the class. So we'll do that shortly. And similarly, you'll be doing some SQL this thing. So SQL exception we want to throw. So south se.toString. Yeah. Now to make connection to MySQL, you don't have to struggle a lot. You refer to any website where you'll find some code like this where you load the driver or register the MySQL driver with the Java using class.forName and using the syntax, and you open up a connection using driver manager to get connection by providing all the MySQL credentials like port number and database to which you want to connect with username and password. So I just copy this right away so that I can save the time. And just that you have to make this con because you have named the connection as CON. So what it does is it will do the connection, and you can, if it comes out successfully, you can say connected to MySQL successfully. And if there is any error, it will throw here and you'll get to know that something has happened. So our class is DB Connect class is ready with all these things. Now another thing is once the connection is done, you have to create an empty statement using the connection dot create statement, and then if you're connecting to product this thing, you have to say result set statement dot execute query select star from products, assuming that there is a products table with all the columns which we have mentioned, that is product ID, product name, price, and category. So our result set will be ready with the data. Now what we can do is to get this result set out of the class, I can build a getter here. Go to generate and say getter, and I want to get only the getter for the result set. I'm not interested in the connections and all, so that we have a getter for result set. It simply returns the object rs, which I can use in my controller here. So what I got to do is in the hello button click event, I need to get the result set. So before that, we need to create one instance of DB Connect so that the connection is done and all that. For this, you can use the initializer method of this thing. So for that, you have to implement interface called as initializable, so that this class has initialize method. So within this, I can create a DB Connect object. Okay, so I just instantiate a DB Connect object. So uh, it will go to this class, create one object, and in the process, it will load the driver and connect to MySQL. So all that will be done, and if you want to get access to the result set, you have to say result set here rs. Okay, and once the connection is ready, you can use rs equal to db dot get rs. Using the getter, you can get the result set which holds the data. Now this program is not going to run because we haven't yet loaded the MySQL driver. For that, you have to go to pom.xml and you have to add the dependency here. So the dependency for MySQL, you can get it from Maven repository. Go to Maven repository here and go to this website. Just type MySQL and you will see MySQL connector, and select any of the versions you're comfortable with. And if you go down the list here, you'll see the Maven dependency. Just clicking here will copy the entire thing. You come back and just copy paste here, and you will get a symbol that this will load the Maven changes. Click on this so that it will load the MySQL driver into your application. Now your result set is ready for making the connection. So I want this data to show up whenever I click on the button. So I go to the click event button here, and we need to add few fxml tags here. So fxml, if you remember, we put a text field and named it as PID, and then we have another text field pname, and yet another text field price. Then we have another text field which is a fxml annotation we have to use, so that what is used in your GUI is referred through these variable names. So this is the category. So these are the things that you need to do, and now you can say pid.setText, and you can say, yeah, before we use rs get this thing, you have to say rs dot next. So you have to move to the first record. Yeah, it is showing red line because you have to add try catch block there, and say rs first is get int. So first column is an integer object. Yeah, so it's best we put these things into try catch block, so that if there is any SQL exception, you can catch that using try catch block. So se.toString. Yeah. Yeah. So instead of this thing, yeah. Now since we are displaying text, we cannot say get int here. Get string we can use. So pname again, set text rs dot get string second column, price dot set text rs dot get string 3, then category dot set text dot rs dot get string 4, if I'm not wrong. So we'll check all these things. So we are done, almost done. Now if you run the program, hopefully everything will load up correctly. So as you can see, the GUI has come up. If I say show, it will show the data coming from database. So product ID 100, 8000, then it belongs to fruits category. Of course, product name is appearing to be different. So this is a mobile, this is television, then this is fruit, Samsung Galaxy, this. Okay, so we are done. So it will throw an exception because you have reached the end of the file. If you want any changes to be done, you go to MySQL here, and you see that in the shopping cart database, you have the products table, and this Moto F11 should be a mobile phone, so it should be mobile here. Yes, that change is done. And now if you again say show, of course you cannot go back. You have to close this application, run it again. Yeah, now it comes up with first one as mobile, then second is also mobile phone, third one is television, fourth one is banana fruits, and again it's a mobile phone. So we have all the products displayed here, and as you can see in the console here, connected to MySQL successful, which is coming from our DB Connect constructor, where the driver is loaded correctly, connection is done, and you got this message displayed on the console. So that's it, friends. We have demonstrated how to use Screen Builder to build the graphical user interface, and how to use the controller to make connection to the database, and how to display the data one record at a time. In my next video, I'll show you how to display the data in tabular form, where all the rows of the table will be displayed at once. So that is how uh, the whole thing can be demonstrated. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, you click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.